So we've seen a few of the models in the workshop. Could you tell me a little bit more specs-wise about each one?
So what we probably build most of is the 96 model, which is RS style guitar. They predominantly feature super light one-piece swan-pash bodies, you know, selected for their weight. They have a range of pickup formats, usually roasted maple neck with a fretboard of either roasted maple, rosewood or ebony. They all feature patinated pick guards, which are basically brass pick guards, and then they're treated with acid and water and fire and all kinds of things to give them these really cool, weird patina finishes.
They do look really killer, yeah.
Every single one is completely unique, so that's another nice thing about that.
Yeah, and you were saying that you offer like a vintage kind of setup and a more modern one. Yeah. Is that just on the S guitars, or is that on...
That's on the S guitars mainly, yeah. We can offer a floating trem, a vintage trem, vintage tuners, locking tuners. All our bridges are made by a company called ABM, who are in Berlin. Just absolutely amazing hardware, built for tone more than anything.
So there's really a market for anyone, whatever the playing style, if it's vintage
Indeed.
style or modern, there's something that will appeal there.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then we've got our T-style guitar, that's a similar thing, patinated guards, swan-pash bodies. Same options on the necks, we do different neck profiles by the way, and different fretboard radii and fret sizes. We have a single cut carved top guitar. Our model's called the Macon, and that's available fully solid, semi-chambered or fully chambered. That can come in humbucker P90 or P90 P90.
So again, whatever you're after really, there's something there.
Yeah, we try and cover most bases, even though our production is pretty small.
Mm. And do you say there's a junior version of that?
And a junior version of that as well, which is slab body, still with a set neck.
Okay.
And the body on that is mahogany, and with the neck you've got an option of mahogany or roasted maple.
So I'm here with Kieran now, and we're having a look at what goes on inside these guitars to make them sound so great. So Kieran, can you just talk me through what you're doing?
Yeah. So inside our guitars, we tend to have the same kind of wiring for all our models. So master volume, master tone, and some form of switch. If we have a humbucker, we'll always do a coil tap. So we tend to use the tone as have a push-pull pot for this. We use paper and oil capacitors for the tone cap. We use a range of values which will match to the pickups that are going in the guitar.
Right, okay.
And we use paper and oil just because it's a classic type of capacitor used in all the great guitars. So we have a little resistor, and we put that in between ground and the second coil, or the coil we're going to shut off.
Okay.
And it allows a very small amount of that coil to come through in the signal. It keeps the pickup humbucking, and also gives it a much thicker and more usable sound as opposed to not having the resistor there. And we also use treble bleed circuits. They go on the volume pot and they make the volume roll off a lot smoother. You don't get any sudden drop offs.
Right. Okay.
And they stop becoming too dark and muddy as you roll down the volume.
Oh,
so the volume is more usable all across the board.
Right, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's really impressive. It looks so neat as well. So you used to make a lot of flat top guitars, so
yes.
Tell us a little bit more about the Faith side of things then.
While I was in America and building flat top acoustics, we built a few guitars branded Faith Carolina, okay, which were then brought to this country and sold. When I moved back to the UK, then I had the opportunity to get more involved with Faith.
Right, okay.
So I now do all the design work and the technical consultancy to Faith and the product development, and work with the manufacturers in Indonesia. So plus, better than that, all the Faith guitars that are sold in this country at least come through my shop.
Yeah, I've seen the guys.
So we open every single box, get the instrument out, check it over, set it up, and make sure that it's fit for purpose.
Yeah, we've seen the guys all working on them today, so they always reach the shop in optimum playing condition.
That's the idea.
So tell me a little bit about the Shergold. Is that same?
It's exactly the same deal. We do all the design work here, product development here. Because we've got our own workshops, when we're doing product development, on guitars that are built overseas, we have the opportunity to build them here first. So, you know, if we're looking at certain aspects, we can basically try them out first in our own shop, and that, I think, makes us fairly unique.
So I had a really great time in Oswest Street, and I just want to say a big thank you to Patrick Eggle and Alex Mew from Barnes & Mullins for looking after us while we were there. Now I'm here with Lauren Tate from Hands Off Gretel.
Hello.
You've just played It's My Fault for us, song from the upcoming album.
Yep, that's right.
Tell us a little more about this album. What can we expect?
I think like the album's kind of changed since the first one we did, and as we've been touring, I've been writing loads more, and I'd say that this one is kind of like, it's a little bit more commercial in the sound, like not like entirely, but a little bit more. It's kind of got a mix of a more pop elements to it, but not like pop as in, you know, too popish. Lots of melodies and harmonies in there that I've been working on. And like I write all the songs, so I've been working on my songwriting most of 2 years for this album. Yes, it's a frustration album, I'd say, like frustration about like a young girl in a world that she don't feel like she belongs, like kind of about feeling like you don't fit in, which is something that I feel all the time. So it's like, it's about that. But it's not just pop, it's a mix of pop and grunge rock.
Okay, cool. And so you say you do a little more contemporary than the last album. Was that like a conscious effort, or did that kind of just happen that way?
I think it was quite natural, like a natural progression. A lot of people advised me to do that, and that is not why I did that. Like, I don't really listen to what anyone says, but it was my own decision, because originally, like, for me, singing, I've always come from like a more bluesy background, really, like bluesy and more, when I was younger, pop music. So it's just, I tried to sing a bit more because I did a lot of screaming last year. No, not last year, 2 years ago. And then now I've started singing again, so it's just a blend of both.
Okay, cool. And so you guys are touring as well later this month. So whereabouts are you going? How can we get tickets?
We're doing a few gigs before his album tour. His album tour will be in April, May, kind of, bit of April and May, into June, then possibly Germany. And we've got everything at his website, so that'll be www.handsofgretel.co.uk.
Cool, so you're all over the place with it then. So you guys have obviously got a strong fan base built from the live shows.
Yeah.
But you're also really active on social media. So kind of, what's your approach on that, I guess?
I focused a lot on social media. I think it's so important that bands do that and like reply to every single comment, and it takes ages, but it's so important to do that.
Look after your fans.
Definitely.
So I think you're going to play us out now with, is this your most recent single?
This was the first song we released off the album, which is called Kiss Me Girl. Not the album, the song is called Kiss Me Girl. Yeah.
Here we go, Kiss Me Girl.
Desert song, you get me high. How does he come on song? She said, baby, wanna have some fun? Just feel me, God, I won't tell anyone. I'm sick back from a sweet disease. There's a dread, not supposed to feel the scene. As a man, now sit across the bar, she said, have you never kissed a girl before? Oh, no. Tonight, I want your love, but it isn't right. Just tell me, yourself tonight. I'm sick of this feeling. What's wrong? It's alright. Tonight I want your lips up against mine. Just kiss me, girl. Give me all your love. Do whatever you want. Gonna need your touch. So come on. She's crazy, looking down at me. She bites my lip to unleash the free. Hot lady, means the worst to me. She takes my hand right I'm elastic, baby, from a sweet disease. As a dread, no space to feel the sea. And as a man, now stood across the floor, she said, come on, baby, do you want any more? I said, I'm not gay. She started laughing as I felt her recover from another woman. As a drag him a kiss so far, she said, I'm convinced you're very sure. Oh, 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 no. Tonight I want your little body, this ain't right. Just on me, baby, lose yourself tonight. I'm sick of this feeling, what's wrong? It's alright. Tonight I want your love up against my ear. She asked me at the tip of her tongue, love me even though it's wrong. Touch me, come now, come on, yeah. She asked me at the tip of her tongue, love me